And I'm Scott Hardesty. Coming up, we've got more on the Tennessee church shooting.
And Triad News 360 is live from Washington, D.C. with a basketball game that doesn't involve a presidential tweet.
Hello, I am Triad News 360 reporter Sydney Goldberg, live from where these group of buildings behind me might soon disappear.
Another hurricane shaping up and aiming straight at the battered Caribbean islands. The Hurricane Maria is creeping up the east coast, and it's been pretty nice and warm, but we'll see what the future holds in our weekday forecasts. Mackenzie, Scott?
Thanks, Maximilian. The debate over proposed baseball stadium in High Point is beginning to heat up.
Monday, High Point City Council members voted to move forward with the project and gave city staff members a 3-point starting plan.
The City Council vote is to move forward with or without the Guilford County Commissioners.
Last week, the County Commissioners tabled the vote on the stadium for 60 to 90 days.
City Council told Fox 8 News that they still want a financial partnership with the County Commissioners, but also warned that the county needs to move quickly in order to have the stadium opened by the scheduled April 2019 opening day.
And we have team coverage of the stadium issues. Triad News 360 reporter Danielle Neon was at the County Commissioners meeting last week.
But first, let's join reporter Sydney Goldberg, who is live where the stadium will actually be built. Sydney?
Hello, I am Triad News 360 reporter Sydney Goldberg, live from where the proposed baseball stadium is supposed to be placed. I am at the corner of Elm and Gatewood Street, just north of downtown High Point. High Point City Council just recently purchased land for $15 million to serve as a home for a future professional baseball team. It is supposed to sit up to 5,000 baseball fans and 7,500 for concerts and other live events. That's all I have for today. I am Triad News reporter Sydney Goldberg, live. Back to you.
And again, that was Triad News 360 reporter Sydney Goldberg reporting live from the proposed stadium site. Thank you, Sydney.
Earlier this week, people from around town jammed into High Point City chambers.
They wanted to know what was going on and have their voices heard.
Triad News 360 reporter Danielle Neon was there as the commissioners faced off with the crowd.
People crowded into the courthouse to have their voices heard for the proposal of the professional baseball stadium, set to be built in High Point. Every seat was full, and many had to wait outside for the doors to be open. The president of High Point University, Dr. Nito Cubain, had already raised $50 million for the project that was announced in April of this year. The podium was crowded with opinions that were strongly in support of the plans, some reasoning that it will bring more jobs and business to the High Point area as well as help the community. Those against were not against, but more undecided about the decision.
If I would be speaking for or against, at the time I said neither. But upon reflection, I think a much better answer is both. Why? Because I think tonight's vote has become about so much more than a stadium.
Shaquille Allison, a resident of High Point, speaks strongly against the plans for the stadium.
School, and I feel as though if we take that money that we're trying to use for the stadium to sort of help the High Point community, I think that it would be best that it goes towards youth in the community to further their education.
After residents voiced opinions, the commissioners' vote ended up as 8-1. The commissioners tabled it for at least another 60 days. Triad News 360 will have more information when a final decision has been made.
Yes to High Point, and to say yes tonight to High Point. I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And again, that was Triad News 360 reporter Danielle Neon. Thank you, Danielle.
It will be interesting to see if the crowd returns for the next meeting as well.
And Hurricane Irma has come and gone and left her trail of destruction on Florida.
The tourist city of Daytona took a real hard hit, like most of Florida.
Triad News 360 reporter Emily Edwards traveled to Daytona to see the damage firsthand, and she shot these videos you're seeing of the recovery efforts. Boats washed up onto yards, buildings sustained heavy damage, and many residents are left wondering where to start.
Buildings and homes suffered heavy damage from water overflowing the intercoastal waterways.
As residents surveyed the damage, the next big headache will be their insurance policies. What does their coverage actually cover?
When insurance companies get on the ground in Florida and in Texas, they will start adding up the costs.
And everyone across the country is likely to feel the pinch as insurance companies may raise their insurance rates to recover some of the damage costs.
A rehab center in Hollywood Hills, Florida, lost power in its air conditioning. The soaring heat inside of the nursing home caused a national outcry. 11
of its residents died, and that same day, about 160 other nursing homes across Florida had no electricity, and most of those had no generator capable of powering air conditioning.
As Irma came and passed, nursing home were assured that families that their loved ones would be safe and cared for.
But fans and portable coolers were not enough for some residents. When firefighters were finally called to rush people out, they said that the conditions were so bad it reminded them of battling a fire.
A state investigation is ongoing to determine what went so terribly wrong.
And a deadly shooting at the Burnett Chapel Church of Christ in Antioch, Tennessee occurred on Sunday, September 24th.
25-year-old Emmanuel Cadega Sampson opened fire just after 11 a.m. One person is reportedly dead and several others wounded.
Robert Engel was one of the ushers at the church. Well, he was pistol whipped, but that didn't stop him.
Engel got up, ran to his own car, grabbed his gun, and headed back into the church to confront Sampson.
And Engel was able to subdue Sampson and hold him down until police arrived.
The FBI is getting involved. They're creating a civil rights investigation into the shooting, which can bring additional charges.
And now imagine a bunch of office types getting around to play some basketball.
Really not a LeBron James picture here.
And even more concerning is where they work.
Joining us live from Washington, D.C. is Triad News reporter Ashton Keith at the 19th Annual Congressional Basketball Games. Ashton?
This is Ashton Keith here reporting for Triad News 360 in Washington, D.C. I'm here at the 19th Annual Hoops for Youth Fall Congressional Classic. It's a great event going on here. It's a charity event for inner city children who suffer from hunger issues and just come from families who can't put enough food on the tables. It's a great benefit here. It's currently halftime. There's two games tonight. First game is against some lobbyists and staff. The second game is actually against some lobbyists and some actual congressmen. We're here at George Washington University. It's been a great time tonight. Before this, there was a youth clinic, and I think the youth enjoyed it. Free pizza after, so it's been a great time here. It's Ashton Keith reporting live for Triad News 360.
Thanks, Ashton. The charity basketball game helps benefit the Hoops for Youth Foundation, a foundation supported by congressmen in Washington.
And that was again Triad News 360 reporter Ashton Keith reporting live from the nation's capital with the story. Thanks again, Ashton.
More sports news from the nation's capital. President Donald Trump took to Twitter to say that players who kneel during the national anthem should be fired.
NFL players across the nation and in London are staging protests during the national anthem this week.
The response to President Trump's remarks took all sorts of forms. In Charlotte, the Carolina Panthers stood as usual. In Pittsburgh, the Steelers stayed in their locker room, all except offensive tackle Alejandro Villanueva.
Villanueva was a U.S. Army captain and Army Ranger, and he served 3 tours in Afghanistan and received the Bronze Star for valor.
His Steeler teammates say they stand behind their friend and their fellow player.
And coming up on Triad News 360, a very colorful festival in Greensboro.
And women sharing their failures to encourage success. We'll be right back.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. big time.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Scott Hardesty.
Greensboro Pride took to the streets of Greensboro.
And the free admission street fair style event brought together the whole community to promote unity within the LGBTQ+.
The 2 days featured several musical acts as well as poets, dancers, and even included local youth choirs and dance companies.
Some people took advantage of the celebration and dressed in rainbow tutus and glitter makeup, while other people looked like they were simply taking their families out for a Sunday stroll.
The rainbow was definitely the theme of the weekend, as rainbow flags, t-shirts, wigs, tattoos, and decorations could be seen all throughout the downtown Greensboro.
And now 3 very successful women want others to know that failure can oftentimes be the road to success.
That's right. Elizabeth Resnick Arzamendi, Karen Reinhardt, and Leslie Dart shared stories of how their failures led them to become very successful women.
I was very inspired by the presentation, by all the panelists talking about their struggles in their careers and them responding in such a positive way.
And she really emphasized that she thought it was a bit extreme how much pressure we're put into at such a young age to know what we want to do. And it was just so inspiring to see how successful she became.
It's fun to try to get people excited about it, get more women engaged in those career areas, and to grow it.
And each woman shared a story of a pivotal moment that led to her prosperity. These leaders also shared encouraging messages, such as each day being a learning experience.
This panel also related to college-aged women who feel pressure to know what they want to do with their lives, like many of us.
And audience members of all ages left the event feeling inspired and empowered by these leaders.
One picture can tell 1,000 words.
And one picture of a person can tell a lifetime of stories.
Triad News 360 reporter
Life
has
through
a
the
story
eye of a camera can show the
with a
simply
topic of
beautiful
special
things
interest.
of the human condition. A local photographer is celebrating his roots in a special way. I got the chance to speak on the phone with Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist Jose Galvez, who captures Latino life throughout North Carolina. The High Point Museum is displaying the exhibit for National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Actually, my wife and I were struck by the number of Latinos that actually were living here in North Carolina and what they were doing. So that was always part of my wanting to move to this region, was to document the impact of Latinos in not just North Carolina, but the whole southern region. I was ready for a new challenge. You know, I've been documenting Latino life for all my professional career, which is more than 40 years now.
Would you say that Latinos in the Southeast is different from what you've seen out in California, Arizona, New Mexico, that area?
It has brought a certain amount of vitality and financial reward for communities. I'm seeing much more of an impact, especially like in the small towns and maybe some of the main boulevards. Latinos are no different than other people. They work, they have homes, they go to the neighborhood parks, they have religion, teenagers like to have a fun time, they go to school, they go to college, they're gay, they're transsexual, you know, they're professionals, they're business owners, all that stuff, you know, they're just really not much different than anyone else.
The photo exhibit, Al Norte, was brought from the North Carolina Museum of History to the High Point Museum, now until November 4th. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Jose Galvez's exhibits can be seen in the North Carolina Museum of History in Durham.
And those were some great shots from Jose. That was a nice story. And coming up next on Triad News 360, Maximilian Thomas joins us with the weather around the Triad.
And Triad News reporter Emmett Kusro has a story of a local group who's practicing for a year to sing in a very special hall.
We'll be right back.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Scott Hardesty.
Fall is here, leaves are changing, but summer still refuses to leave.
And it's been great weather around here for the past week, and Triad News 360 weather person Maximilian Thomas is here with our weather update. Max, is the weather going to get any colder around here?
We'll see, Scott. We will see, but currently not so far. It's been really, really warm here. As you can see on the East Coast here, we're currently in the high 70s, and 70s going all the way down from Maine, all the way down to Florida, which is going currently in the 80-degree weather right there. Up over on the West Coast, we have it's a lot cooler, oddly enough, and it's going to the high mid-50s and various other things as well as far as that is concerned. And as for the next map, we will see that we have 73 degrees currently in Raleigh and the Fayetteville and the Triangle over there. And meanwhile over here near Sparta and the Rocky Mountain area, we have 60s, 70s, and 60s and 70-degree temperatures going over there as well. For the next map, we will also see our 7-day weather forecast. And as today was really, really quite warm actually, in 84 degrees and will stay with us through Wednesday through Thursday, and it will finally cool off in Friday and Saturday and into the next week, and that's when fall will actually hit us. But for right now, the weather is going to be really nice and warm. And there is one more map that I would like to show you guys, and it is currently of the pressure weather system. And that's it right here. And as you can see from the entire thing here, we are currently in the East Coast in the high pressure system, giving us our really clear skies as well. This little thing right here, this right here is Hurricane Maria, and it's currently sweeping up our East Coast at the moment. So if you would like to spend your a little bit time of summer, please do not spend it at the beach, because a little bit of a warning there on that kind of side. Oddly enough, on the West Coast over here, let me see, we have a low pressure system making it a little bit cloudy over there, and this little thing right here, we have a little bit of rain in Texas and the western, southeastern, central Americas. And that's a bit all the weather I have for you today. Right now, I'm Maximilian Thomas, and back to you, Scott and Mackenzie.
Well, thank you, Max. It seems like we don't have to say goodbye to summer weather just yet, but just be ready for when that fall weather finally hits.
Nothing better than a pumpkin spice latte during the fall season.
I couldn't disagree more.
Every team, every group, every chorus has a special place they would love to perform.
And for one local choir, that dream may finally come true.
High Point University's choir will be traveling to Italy during the summer of 2018 to represent the state of North Carolina in an American celebration of music.
The group is scheduled to sing Mass at the St. Peter's Basilica, along with concerts to be performed in the Sistine Chapel, Venice, and Milan.
A trip of a lifetime, and what a very special place to sing.
Now imagine singing in Italy, and that's got to be crazy for them, really.
Worth every minute of it. Next, flying high in a special ride.
And High Point University sports is coming up next.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Scott Hardesty.
And I'm Mackenzie Fisher. Fast food chain Taco Bell has announced that they will open 300 to 350 cantina-style locations.
The new restaurants will offer alcohol, new food items such as the Naked Egg Taco and the Crunchwrap Supreme.
But the new locations will not have the standard fast food drive-thru. Taco Bell plans to open enough stores in the big cities through 2022.
Now, burning rubber, loud bikes, and great fun. That's what you can find.
The Ray Price Capital City Bike Fest roared into Raleigh, North Carolina, a major stop on the Bike Fest tour, almost drowned out every other sound in town.
The night was held for the most anticipated event of the show.
The stunt show. Flips in midair, jumps over ramps, and every kind of daredevil stunt one cannot imagine that can be done on a motorcycle.
And you might leave with a bit of a headache, but the Bike Fest is an event you'll remember for a long time.
Classic cars, no matter where they park or drive, always turn heads.
And that's right, a 65 Chevy 2, late 60s Chevy Corolla, and a 62 Ford F-150 pickup truck, and a classic 442 Old Cutlass.
Just some of the beloved cars at a recent Vendors and Vendors car show.
And also many vendors with their crafts, jewelry makers, pottery makers, and stained glass designers.
Homemade jams and sauces and self-made chairs. Can't miss all of these great fall car shows.
The fall sports is underway at High Point University.
Triad Sports 360 reporter Aiden Jensen joins us with how the Panthers are faring these days. Aiden?
Thank you, Scott McKenzie. The High Point men's soccer team started off conference play in big fashion, beating UNC Asheville 3-0 at Greenwood Field. Redshirt sophomore Bana Ganedikam led the way for the Panthers on the attack with 2 goals, while Keegan Meyer recorded his second shutout of the year with 4 saves. This result marks the 3rd consecutive year in which HPU has shut out UNC Asheville to open conference play. Next, the Panthers head to Boone to play App State on Saturday at 7 p.m. The HPU women's soccer team finished with a 1-0 shutout at Longwood this past Saturday. Senior Alex Hank had her 23rd career shutout with 5 saves, and senior Michelle Michike had her 2nd goal of the season with her game-winning penalty kick. The Panthers are on the road again this Wednesday for their next conference match against Liberty, where they look to extend their win streak to 3 games. Kickoff is scheduled for 5 p.m. This week, High Point men's and women's soccer goalies swept Big South Conference Player of the Week honors. Redshirt sophomore Keegan Meyer was named the Big South Defensive Player of the Week after his performance against number 4 Wake Forest and UNC Asheville. He tallied 11 saves between the 2 games. On the women's side, senior Alex Hank was also named Defensive Player of the Week after the Panthers shut out Longwood on Saturday. Her 23 total shutouts in her career ranks tops in High Point's Division I history. The High Point women's volleyball team defeated Charleston Southern on the road this past Saturday, 3-1. Senior Haley Barnes continued her excellent play with 15 kills and 3 aces, as junior Molly Livingston held the defense together with 5 digs and 3 blocks. The Panthers are now 9-6 overall in the season and will continue tonight against Campbell at 7 p.m. Molly Livingston was also named Big South Player of the Week, while freshman Abby Bottomley earned Big South Freshman of the Week. The High Point women's golf team currently sits in 9th place after the first 2 rounds of the Pirate Collegiate Classic. The Panthers have recorded 25 birdies thus far and are being led by senior Kayla Smith, who was tied for 21st overall at 6 over par. Final round play started this morning, and we will have updates for you tomorrow night. The High Point women's cross-country team finished 5th at the Virginia Panorama Farms Invite this past weekend. Freshman Famke Hines led the Panthers across the line for the 3rd consecutive meet, placing 6th overall. Other top finishers include Julia Hellman and Franzi Jacobs. Next up, HPU will host the Vertcross Invitational in Kernersville on October 13th at the Ivy Redmond Sports Complex. The High Point men's cross-country team returns to action this Saturday at the Upstate Invite in Spartanburg, South Carolina. After finishing 4th out of 5 in the Big South Preview on September 16th, this will be their 2nd event of the season. The last time HPU competed in the Upstate Invite, they took home gold. That's it for High Point University Sports. Scott, Mackenzie.
Thank you very much, Aiden. And when we return, is Kylie Jenner pregnant?
And superheroes in Greensboro? Stay tuned.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Scott Hardesty.
People of all shapes and sizes and costumes showed up in Greensboro.
And in Greensboro, the Greensboro Comic-Con took over the Greensboro Convention Center.
There were casual visitors and dedicated fans in full costume. Notable artists and writers held panels and had fans lined up to get autographs.
There were tables and booths for TV shows like Doctor Who, Archer, Game of Thrones, and Adventure Time to book groups like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
And old favorites like Pokemon, Sailor Moon, and Godzilla. No matter what nerd culture you're into, there is a group for all of them.
It's a unique world, but some people definitely get really into it.
Looks like an interesting group. The Kardashians have all new rumors. The youngest Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, is suspected to be pregnant.
And now, forgive me, but I haven't been keeping up with my Kardashians. Is she 20? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Kylie Jenner's 20 years old, and she's who's her boyfriend?
I think he's a rapper, Travis Scott.
What is Kylie
Previously, Tyga was the one before that.
Right. He was the other boyfriend, but now Travis Scott is the one who got Kylie Jenner pregnant.
Yes, I guess so.
Well, that's enough news for tonight. From Triad News 360, I'm Scott Hardesty.
And I'm Mackenzie Fisher. Good night, High Point.